Hey, how you doing? This is God Concept, episode number 14. I'm your host, Mr. Pagan. Good evening, how you doing? I hope you had a great Sunday. It's been rainy over here, drizzling on and off. It's cool though, you know. Got a nice fat steak from Max's, you know. Came home and chilled after a long morning. So, all is well, you know. What I've noticed is a lot of times we are products of our environment. Like you know what you want to do, and you have things that you have to do. But based upon the activities or characters, whatever, outlets in the environment, you wind up getting into that instead of really getting into what you're supposed to do. A lot of times that stifles you from tapping into a certain aspect of who you are. That a few different aspects of who you are, really. Because you're dealing with the physical, and the physical intakes things, right? The physical intakes things for your mind, things that you think, your thoughts, your feelings about things, people's feelings about you, right? And your physical also intakes information for the spiritual, ergo, or religion, whether you're Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, Catholic, whatever. I mean, me personally, I say, look into them all, because they all have some truth into it, right? But it's like, you have to be true to you. At the end of the day, you have to be true to you. There's only you. There's only one you. The world might not get to experience that again. So you have to be true to who you are and be genuine to what you do. You can't do that for anybody else but you. I can't help being who I am. I can't help that I'm such a loyal person. I can't help that I'm so helpful. I can't help that, I have genuine love for everybody. You know what I mean? Like an overwhelming amount of love for everybody. You know what I mean? As a collective, because we learn from each other. You know what I mean? I'm an observer. I people watch all the time. You know what I mean? And it's like I observe funny ways of doing things. People got funny ways of doing things, ways of saying things. I do too. I'm pretty sure if you ever met me, it's like, you don't know how to perceive me. Because at one point I could be kind of hood, and then one point I could be kind of nerdy, and then one point I could be kind of tactical, and I'm all over the place from mine. And one point I could be goofy as hell. Sometimes I could be lazy as fuck. We are multitudes, right? We all hold different characteristics and different beliefs within us. But that's what makes us us. The thing is, we can't exclude ourselves from anything until we try everything. You know what I mean? You can't exclude, except for things that's, of course, taboo. But yeah, you can't really exclude anything until you tried everything. As far as culture, religion, spirituality, as far as thoughts, thinking, and things like that, because that's science. Science is thought. Science is thinking. That's how you figure out things, because you have to have a methodology. You can't have a one-track mind and try to be a scientist. You have to explore all options, all different point of views, right? This is what you need. That's the duality of a concept, right? Different points of views, right? Now, us understanding that, and you have an enormous feedback. You have an enormous amount of feedback from your neighborhood, to like influence who you are, peer pressure and different things like that when you're younger, right? But when you get out that atmosphere, when you get out of your immediate environment, you start to wake up to something. You start to wake up to a different part of you, a different side of you that you might not have known before. It's a city mentality versus a rural you know, a more woodsy environment type of atmosphere, type of mindset. You know what I mean? People think differently. It allows you, this is why you have to explore. This is why you have to go different places, because different places allows you to think differently and tap into different energy, because we are connected to the earth, right? All of us are connected, right? In some way, shape, form, or fashion. If you believe in the chakra system, yeah, the earth has chakras, animals, all of it. All of us are one. It's not like we're many, but we're one at the same time. When that fire happened in Canada, we got the smog, didn't we? Over here in America. See? What happens over there affects us over here just as well as what happens over here affects them over there. As it is above, so it is below, right? So us understanding that pretty much everything is synonymous. Everything has that duality. Everything has that yin and yang. And us knowing our personal holy trinity of us, our physical, our mental, and our spiritual, right? You got to understand that we have to tap in to not just where we're from, to our geographical location, where we're from in our neighborhood. We got to tap into everybody. You got to tap into the world. You know what I mean? You can't just be in tune with this country just because this is your country. I love America. I wear American hats all the fucking time. I got shirts with a big ass American flag stamped on the side of them. I'm a home team type of boy too. You know what I mean? I like the Eagles. I like the Sixers. Any home team, I'm rooting for them because that's how it is. Economically, that's how it's supposed to be. Because economically, that's the only team that's going to bring something back to Philly for us. So why should I celebrate another team? I mean, I'm happy for any team's victory, of course. But, of course, you want yours to win by far more than anybody else. You know what I mean? So Phillies, go Eagles, go Sixers, go Flyers, all of them. Shit. All of them. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you got to stay in tap and in tune with these other places all around the world. Because it's like you can get so much love in other places. And if you're not really showing love or tapping in with these places or actually getting there or actually, getting to see different places or see different sites, you become stagnant. You become complacent. And that's what you don't want to be. I mean, fortunately, with the advent of technology, we got VR and things like that. I mean, I was a truck driver, so I've been everywhere east of the Mississippi. I've never been abroad, though, right? I know I got family abroad and everything, but I never been abroad. Would I like to go abroad? Yes. Do I plan on it? Yes. I want to take my children as well. That's why I do what I do. You know what I mean? Now, us tapping in with these other places allow us to expand our thinking, to expand our horizon on our vision, our dreams, our goals, on what we're trying to achieve in our life. And it also helps us to unlock mental, spiritual, and physical things about our personal trinity, right? It helps us tap into different, let's say, metaphysical or meta-spiritual memories, if you will, because your soul, your spirit remembers things that you don't remember. And in order to grasp those memories, in order to get them, sometimes you have to go to different places or seek out different information or do something that the metaphysical part of you did before you was inhabited with the spirit that inhabited once before, if you understand what I'm saying. Because many of us know that when this vessel dies, your spirit merely transfers to a new place. It transcends this realm, even though sometimes we could peek into that realm with the help of substances, and sometimes we don't need substances at all to peek into this realm. Some people could do it naturally. They could just channel in and channel out. Something that I'm just really getting in tune with. You know, something that I wasn't in tune with, but, you know, it's funny. I got a story for you. Because I've been in tune with this type of stuff, but I never really, you know, spiritual things, like people call them ghosts and things. I don't call them ghosts. People, some call them jinns when you experience a spiritual being or whatever, you know, like a ghost or whatever. I got family that could attest to this. I got cousins that could tell you we had spiritual encounters. You know, I grew up next to a funeral home at 16th and Montgomery. It was a pink funeral home. We used to see all types of stuff out my back window. You know, it was like spiritual entities or whatever, you know. And these supernatural beings, you know, we would see them, and sometimes you would experience certain things in the house. One time my cousin, he was playing a game, and he, you know, back when D-Generation X was a wrestling game. So he lost in the wrestling game, so he did suck it to the video game. I'm sitting on the bed, you know, minding my business, probably eating some fucking Cheetos or something, my little fat ass, right? So he did the suck it thing to the video game, and he started walking out the room. Well, adjacent to him was a table with, you know, a mirror, like a nightstand with a mirror on it, a couple candles and different, you know, cosmetics. And there was a glass sitting there, a wine glass or whatever, you know, like a whiskey glass, a heavy joint. And out my peripheral vision, I seen this glass. As he was walking out the door, I seen this glass levitate off of this stand. I seen it levitate. Once I seen it moving, I looked. And I looked at him. He didn't see it. He was still walking, and his glass was like levitating towards him a little bit. And I just said his name. I was like, "Boo man, duck." You know what I mean? And he ducked right in time. And the glass hit the door. Boom! And the glass didn't break at all. And he looked and I looked, and we was both, you know, scared as fuck. Like, you know, you would be kind of, you know, put off by some shit like that. Like, what the hell was that? I didn't throw it. He know I didn't throw it. Because we knew it was over there. And I was just over there with him playing the game, and there was no way I could throw it from the table that was over there in the corner, parallel to the door or whatever. So it's like, when you seen things like that, when you seen things like, it was a Masonic temple right over here. Masonic temple over here on Girard Avenue. Where was that at? That's 18th. It's like 17th and Girard, right? So, was it 17th and Girard? Yeah, it was something like that. I think it was temple number 1 or temple number 2, whichever one. I forget exactly. Right? But the whole thing is, I was driving to work one morning. You know, this is when I drove for a trucking company over there in Ben Salem. And I stopped at the red light, and it was a figure standing there on the corner, like parallel to me. And kid you not, had no face at all. And on the opposite side of the street, it was a guy like walking kind of backwards. It looked like, you know what I mean? It looked like a figure, like crab walking, but upside down crab walking on some weird shit. And I'm like, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Let me get the fuck away from here. And not only that, it's so many spiritual things, so many entities out there. Is you know, these things are real. We can invoke things, and we can get in contact with things that we don't really understand. And that's why it's important for you, for the listener, for me, the speaker or the observer, because we're all observers, to understand that these things were here before us. We got to understand that us knowing more about our environment and understanding more about our terrain and understanding more about this world, understanding more about the spiritual aspect of you, the mental aspect of you, have to be in tune with the spiritual aspect. And the physical got to be in tune with the mental and the spiritual as well. Otherwise, you won't understand these things. And when you come in contact with these type of things, it can do a number of things to your mind. It could drive you crazy. It can paralyze you in fear. It can do a lot of things to you. You know what I mean? Really bad things. They can actually do harm to you in your personal life, in your everyday, living life. You know what I mean? Those spirits and entities, they could dwell around you and really just either protect you or harm you. So you have to be careful with the energy that you put out. And you got to be, more outgoing towards traveling and exploring different parts of the world, different parts of the country and things like that, and be open to actually building relationships with people and stop so much negativity in the world. It's like the whole world, shit, we're on the brink of World War III or something like this. I hope not. But at the same time, it's like, we have to stop that. We're going to destroy the world for our generations to come. We all have children. We all have, significant others that we don't want to see hurt here and abroad, in America and in other countries. These are the type of things that we can't do. We can't have these frivolous wars over what? Elements that we're getting for free from the earth anyway. Over petty disputes over what? Something that people print or people make up fictitiously anyway. An IOU for what? For doing a thing that a person is supposed to do. Show grace and mercy to each other. Whether that's on a personal level or on a countrywide level. We're supposed to extend gratitude and grace to each other. Whether that's to our country, to another country, wherever. We're supposed to show compassion for people, because we're all people. We're all human beings. We're all on this planet together. If something came from another world or something, we would have to battle that thing together. We have to fight whatever force or whatever entity or whatever object that is. You know what I mean? Foreign object or foreign entity from another world together. So, yeah. Stay in tap with everything, man. Don't just be in tap with your environment, with your media environment, because you could become a product of your environment. You could really not become who you're meant to be because you're too consumed with the things around you. Don't be consumed with the things around you. I could stand, I got a bar that I said on one of my songs. I said, I could stand in one place and bring the world to me. Because selfishly, I got these morals and values, right? Like, all right, I had this morals and value, right? I had a moral where I had a thing with myself where I said, the first woman I get pregnant, that's going to be the woman I marry. And I did that, right? I mean, everything sometimes don't work out to fruition, but I stuck by what I said to myself. I made a deal with myself, made a pact to myself. You know what I mean? And I stuck by that. Anything I make a pact to, I stick by it. If I say I'm going to do something, more than likely, I'm going to do it. More than likely, if I say it's something that I got to do, a goal that I got to achieve, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? That's what I like doing. There's more examples I can give you of that. But it's like when I shoot for something, I always put a level of positivity into it. And if it don't come to fruition, that's fine. At least I got a lesson out of the whole ordeal. You know what I mean? Sometimes we come out with lessons and sometimes we come out with blessings and lessons. Right? The only reason I really expound on this so much is because, to be honest with you, I want to see everybody be successful in whatever endeavor it is that they indulge in, right? Now, in order to be really successful at this endeavor, that whatever you're doing, right, whatever goal you're trying to achieve, whatever craft you're trying to gain proficiency in, whatever craft you're trying to learn, you have to have your spiritual, your mental, and your physical in line with each other. Because at one point or another, or maybe all at the same time, your spiritual, your mental, or your physical can be attacked at any point in time. And people don't even understand what they do at times because it's more subconscious. And when you're dealing with your subconscious ultimately has control over you. Because it's a subconscious. It's a conscious that you're not even aware of at times. You got to think about that. Think about a conscious within you that you're not even aware that it's even there at times. So subconsciously, anybody in your life can be activated to hinder you at reaching your dream or helping you in reaching your dream or your goal. At any time, they can be activated by whatever, whatever you want to say. You can say it's divine intervention. You can say it's whatever you want to say. It's spiritual. Sometimes you can say it's mental. Sometimes it's physical. Sometimes it's just a girlfriend that don't want to see you do better. Sometimes a friend that just don't want to see you do better. Sometimes it's just somebody that just don't want to see you get to wherever you're trying to go. Sometimes an entity that don't want to see you get to where you got to go. And those entities and those divine interventions and those jealousies and hatreds can play in your subconscious. People can lay bugs in people's mind with the speech that they say, because our words have power. You can cast spells. So understanding that our words have powers, and that you can literally say something to somebody to influence the way that they think of a person, whether that be good or whether that be bad. Understanding that there are spiritual entities out there, supernatural things that can subconsciously and consciously make a person like you or not like you. There are spiritual entities that can get within you and make you do something it is that you wouldn't normally do. The best way of infiltrating a person's mind is through their subconscious. Did you hear what I just said? The best way of infiltrating a person's mind is through their subconscious. If you can infiltrate a person's mind through their subconscious, you can technically all their life control them without them knowing it. Especially if they're not in tune with who they are. Especially if they're not in tune with their mental, spiritual, physical part of who they are. Yeah. And that's deep. To be honest, I should end the segment on that right there. Because that's deep. Your subconscious has a lot to play with your vision, your goal, the thing that the Creator put you here to do. Your subconscious and other people's subconscious workings around you can play an influential role in your life, a pivotal role in your life. As a child, as a teenager, as an adult. You got to understand, man, it's a lot going on that we don't see, that's behind the scenes. And when I say behind the scenes, I'm not saying like I'm on this movie scene and I'm waiting for a director to say cut or action. Okay? When I say behind the scenes, I mean behind the scenes of our scene. You know what I mean? Our scene is our personal trinity. Our physical body, our spirit, our mental, our mind, how we take care of these three aspects of us. And then you have that aspect that's behind the scenes, that's subconscious. And it's not even ego. This is a whole different thing, a part of you, right? Because you have an ego, right? Your ego is something that you can have in check, right? And sometimes your ego can get out of control if you let it. Sometimes you don't even know it's getting out of control, but it is. And sometimes you don't know when it need to get out of control, but you won't let it. But yeah, your subconscious is not your ego. Yeah, man. Your subconscious is a deep part of you that sometimes you don't even see. And sometimes others can't even see it. Now, if you're not in control of your subconscious, what will happen is you'll start acting out on what your subconscious is telling you. It's not your mind, it's not your mental, it's your subconscious. Consciously, you may be watching TV, but subconsciously, you hear somebody in mind telling you that you ain't shit for sitting there watching TV for so long. You need to get the fuck up and watch and work out. You know what I mean? That's your subconscious talking to you. But you don't know that that subconscious is attached. All of our subconscious is attached. All of our subconscious is attached. So, that being said, you have to be mindful of the people around you, the environments that you stay in, and the type of mindset and the type of activities that you do and adapt. Because, you know, you might have something in you. You might have a dream, a vision, a goal that you're supposed to act on in this lifetime and you never do. And if you never do that, you could damn yourself, you could damn everybody around you. You know, it's that simple. Once you actually start doing that, you'll get that initial seeds of doubt. You'll get that resistance that, oh, this might not work. Oh, this might not come to fruition. But you got to have faith that it will. And not only have faith that it will, you got to put the work in. You got to put the work in, man. You got to put that time in. You know, they got a morning show in Philly called Rise and Grind. I don't know if they got it anymore because I don't listen to radio much. But yeah, they had a morning show called Rise and Grind Morning Show, man. That's what it's about. You got to rise above that mentality. You got to rise above that negative spirituality. And you got to rise above whatever physical ailments or downfalls you have. And just hang it all on the line and do what you got to do. Because at the end of the day, that's where your true success, because you don't really feel successful as a person until you actually succeed in what it is that you want to succeed in, right? So that being said, a lot of times we choose things to succeed in that won't really sustain us for our lifetime, or it'll sustain us for our lifetime, but it won't sustain our kids for their lifetime. Think about it. After you retire, right? Your kids, they still got to work all the rest of their life. Right? So, what was the point? Wasn't the point of you working your whole life to really set your children up to the point where they won't have to work for the rest of their life and struggle like you? We all want our kids to do better, right? So why don't we do better as people? Why don't we at least try to do better? Right? Because us actually doing more. You know what I mean? The child that sees a father or a mother actually doing things that they don't normally see other kids' father and mothers do, they do better in life. Why is that? Because you just made the ceilings for that child a little bit higher. You expanded the room for that child. You gave that child wingspan because you actually portrayed wingspan. You actually showed this child that, yeah, if you want to do this, guess what? You could do it. If you want to achieve this, you can do it. That's the things you got to instill. And in doing that for yourself, that's what you're instilling in your children. And that's not only what you're instilling in your children, because that's thinking selfishly, that's also instilling that in other people's children. Kids that don't have a parent to really look at. You know, technically, whenever you're doing something out here and it's public, you're a role model. You know, I choose to see the good in what people do. Old time gangsters, right? You're talking Nicky Barnes, Bumpy Johnson, all these guys, right? Old time gangsters, right? Yeah, we knew they did, you know, X, Y, Z to get money and this and that. But when it came time to help their community, they always did. They always was there. You know what I mean? People tend to forget the negative things that they did They see the positive. And that's because you could do negative things and bring positive results. But normally when you do that, you get some negative blowback with that. But the people you did the positive things for, they're not going to get the blowback. It's going to be you. So that's like them playing a martyr to bring positivity to a community. But it not only brought positivity or finance or good times to that community, what it also did was show a generation of children that they can be more than just what they see every day. They can be more than just that guy at the corner store. They can be more than just that taxi cab driver. They can be more than just the barber. They can be more than just, somebody that does nails or sells shoes or work at a grocery store. You have to evolve the way you think. If you have a low level of thinking, if you have a low mind state, if you have a low vibration of who you are, man, that's what you're going to be. It's not where you live, it's not how you live, it's what you think. And we'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Hey, real quick, guys. This is Mr. Pagan here. Just want to let y'all know that I have books available on Amazon, Kindle, bookstores on your phones. I got 2 great titles available and a 3rd one coming soon. My philosophy is, if you got a smartphone or a smart device, you already got my book in your hands. It's free for download if you got Kindle Unlimited, and it's $5 otherwise. For One Leap of Faith, it's $5, and for my book Morals and Values, it's $5.25. Both of them are packed with insightful information on morals and values, and One Leap of Faith is to push you to get on your grind for your goals. You know what I mean? 2 powerful books. I got a thriller coming up called Moonlit Marshes with a character. The protagonist is Marshall Cuts, and he's trying to get his way. He's trying to find his way out of Louisiana without getting himself hurt or killed or something. It's a great suspenseful book. Please check it out. It's going to be on Amazon Kindle store. Remember, both these books are available for free. One Leap of Faith and Morals and Value. You got Kindle Unlimited. They're available for free. And also, don't forget to check out my game stream on YouTube, Gaming Vaping Guns. And on Twitch, I'm GVG215. All right? And also, my music streams on all streaming platforms. Whether you got Apple, it's there. Whether you got Tidal, guess what? It's there. You listen on Spotify? Yeah, I'm on Spotify. This podcast is actually on Spotify, also the music. So yeah, we well-rounded. Everything that I'm doing is complementing each other. So please, support the movement, support my brand, support the positive energy that I'm putting out there. And you guys, be blessed. May peace be with you.